that was a lot of fun. We just got back from Facebook's office where we did a talk about design thinking for advertising and Instagram stories. I think it went really well. How about you?
It went really great. My favorite part was at the end we had a really good in-depth conversation, kind of Q&A session where we got into a bunch of topics that we weren't even presenting about, stuff on influencer marketing, stuff on how to stretch your budget when you don't have a lot of money to spend. So I think it was very valuable for the people who attended, and looking forward to doing more of it.
So I love when I see advertisers use some of our native tools in their ads. Some of the same tools that I use every day, because when I see the ad, it just feels really authentic and familiar. Keeps it simple, and it's just like a really fun and playful way to get your message across. So this jewelry company here, I think that's really cute. And that's also a video. So a video means a lot of different things at Facebook. It doesn't necessarily mean a produced 30-second commercial. It could just be really simple movement and graphics like emojis that you're overlaying on a static image. A few examples. I definitely want to touch on the fact that stories are a full funnel solution. So it's kind of interesting because I hear both ends of it. I have some brand advertisers who say, Vivian, we don't want to do stories, it's for DR. And then I have DR advertisers say, we don't want to do stories, it's brand. So I hear both sides of it, and it's really a misconception. No matter what your campaign is optimizing for, whether it's reach, video views, or DR, stories are definitely a placement that everyone should be using in all of their campaigns.
The focus has shifted to creative and media needing to work together, because as long as they're kept separate, creative is going to ship yesterday's creative and media is going to say this isn't what I need, and the client's going to lose in the end. So today and tomorrow we need more from our creative than we ever needed before. We need creative that performs. Imagine in 3 or 4 years that we could solve for creative, that we get so much data back. We already do. But we get so much data back that we can actually solve for creative, so we don't need to guess or have random people not even in the demo making opinions. We need creative that's personalized. So all y'all talk about personalization all the time, no one's doing it. It's still we're in the mindset of one message to everyone, because that's what television did. You didn't buy 6 television ads and figure out who should get each of them. You bought one and put it everywhere, and then use platforms like Facebook as distribution, and then say it doesn't work, which isn't true. It's just the focus is completely different. So we need personalized messages to unique audiences, and most importantly, we need to test and test and test, because the era of the guess is over. In a couple years, we're going to know which 50% of the advertising is working and which isn't. So we need to be able to test and get data back, so we can figure out at scale what's working and what's working best.
But then my question for view-through then is, if you have view-through, the reason that a lot of advertisers don't put a lot of weight on view-through is because the search portion of the campaign is going to catch that view-through conversion, and there's no point in double counting.
Yeah,
if someone doesn't know where the ad is going to land, how do you know they're going to the right site?
But how are you going to drive, how does someone, so I think the biggest correlation we found with view-through and search is that the investment in Facebook's a discovery platform very much, right? So people are exposed to the content, exposed to the messaging. They're going to go to search, type in your brand name, let's say, you're buying branded search. And your search team is saying, we're doing great, look how awesome our numbers are, and a high volume of that is branded search. What's driving people to search your brand, right? There's direct correlations, especially when you're investing at scale, between I spend money on Facebook and my branded search goes up. I stop spending money on Facebook and my branded search goes down.
And it's really about time and patience. I think people get, and you know, obviously this has to do with your budget and what you can commit to different platforms and what have you, but people get cold feet way before the algorithm has learned how to deliver optimally. And so oftentimes they're shooting themselves in the foot of ever gaining real success at scale, because they're not allowing the algorithm to optimize and learn and drive more efficient conversions over time.